Mellow beat.
Yeah, we going live. Yo, yo, yo. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Patrick, what's up, bro? Yeah. Yes, sir. I'll get my shit ready. Yo, yo, yo. Man, I told him. I told you. I said if it's going to be a perfect week, Chase and Burrow was going to be the stack. Did we say that? That was a perfect day. Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all? Okay. Let's dive in. I did some research already for the week. I told him, man. I told him. I said it was going to be a perfect week. I said this is the perfect week going against Arizona. Burrow is going to ball out. Like one of my boys said, my boy Guru, he says, you gotta predict what could happen. You gotta predict what could happen, man. So, yeah, he had a bad few weeks, but eventually he was gonna come out of his shell. We knew that. And going against Arizona was a perfect game script. And, it worked out. They do look good for this week. But we're gonna look at other plays. I mean, obviously they're gonna be highly owned this week, but that's why we gotta dive in. That's why we do these lives, so we can dive in. So let's get right into it, y'all. You already know we got the top plays per position. We're doing cash, GPPs, favorite stacks, cash or GPP. Got injury watch list that we have to keep an eye on certain players. But like I said, go ahead, please share the stream. And you already know how I am, man. I like to converse, get some feedback on some plays, and let's cash for this week. I do got some crazy plays this week. Yes, sir. It's about to heat up, man. You already know, Pat. I appreciate you always sticking by, man. Thanks for your support as always. So I appreciate you. Also all the subscribers, but I don't look at y'all as subscribers. I like just the converse and the fact that y'all check on the boy. I appreciate y'all. Just know that. All right, so let's dive into this thing. All right. I just want to get all my stuff on my screen situated. Okay, let's get this on the stream. I just want this stuff to look right on my... All right. That should look good. What y'all doing over there? Olivia. Lala. These little girls acting crazy over here. You still have Edwards on value? I do not. I thought he would do right, but we saw Justice Hill get the touchdown. But we can't trust man, we thought that the Baltimore would have more of a lethal offense, but they playing just the same type of game script, so we're definitely gonna... I'm not really on Baltimore. I'm not sure what's up with Baltimore, but I'm not really on them this week. But let's dive in. We're going to the quarter. Oh no, I mean it's on your screen. Oh, I forgot to delete. My bad. Let me delete them. Whoops. I thought I took them all. There you go. He's gone. He's out of there. My bad. That was from last week. Sorry about that. Thanks for pointing it out. But let's go for the quarterbacks. Let's get this quarterback screen up. First play, we got to look at Justin Fields. He is pricey. He's 85 on Draftkings. He is 73 on... I'm sorry. He's 73 on Draftkings, 82 on FanDuel. I mean, he's in another great... It's okay. I'm glad I caught it. Yeah, I appreciate you, Joe. Bro. But yeah, Justin Fields, he's a cash spot. I mean, looking at a 44.5 implied total, because obviously without Justin Jefferson in play, it does open up a lot on their end on the Miami. I mean, not Miami, but on Minnesota side. But we know how Kirk Cousins leans on Justin Jefferson, so this could be a bad script. I mean, this could be a low-scoring game for Minnesota. I really, a lot of people going to be caught in the hype with Osborne. I mean, of course, Addison is a good spot to look at as well. I'm more so on Osborne, but then again, I like Justin Fields once again at this spot. You got some great plays for Chicago. So I'm gonna go with Justin Fields at cash. is really self-explanatory. He's averaging 33 fantasy points in the last 2 games. Minnesota is allowing roughly 251 passing yards a game, which is insane. I mean, he could definitely run them all. I mean, just run them down all game. That's how I kind of see the script going. But yeah, Justin Fields, cash, 7,300. I think that's a kind of a lock play in my opinion. So let me go ahead and plug him in. Let's go Fields. I'm not really sold on. That's the thing. I'm not ever going to play. I'm never going to play. What's his name? Kirk Cousins over 6,000. Like, he's meant to be around like 63, 64,000. I'm not. I mean 6,400. Sorry, 6,400. Probably 65. But I'm not going 7,100 on Kirk Cousins, especially if he plays outdoors. We know how he is when he plays outdoors. I always tell people, please, when he plays, when he doesn't play at home or he don't play indoors, he just a crapshoot. I will go Bears defense if you want to look that route. It could be a lot of opportunities for the Bears defense to get some upside here. It's a little like a little implied. So I'm gonna go Fields, and that's about it on here for quarterback. Fields definitely in play. Second spot I do like is Trevor Lawrence going against the Colts. Is a 45.5 implied total. I like this spot a lot for Trevor. He's definitely been showing an uptrend in the last 3 games. He had 15, 16, and 20 in the last 3 games. It's a perfect script for him to get some leverage here. I do like the receivers as well. You got Christian Kirk in play. You got Evan Ingram in play. You got what's his name? TJ, I believe. That's a good pass catching running back. So I definitely want to consider Trevor Lawrence at 6,500. I'm not sure if it's going to be cash or not. He should be highly owned here. Let me look at his ownership. It's not stating his ownership. I gotta double check. Yeah, right now they're not really showing his ownership, but I like Trevor Lawrence at 6,500. He is 76 on FanDuel, but I definitely like this play a lot for Trevor Lawrence. Let's go plug him in there. I'm not sure if I want to say cash for Trevor. I mean, 6,500. He could get some upside. I'm not sure. But the Colts is allowing 282 passing yards so far into the season, roughly 28 fantasy points when playing away. So I like Trevor Lawrence here. I'm not sure if it's GPP, but I'm gonna just say it because I don't know. I think a lot of people are gonna look at Fields per se, but let's see what else. I mean, you got Joe Burrow going against Seattle. I really feel like it's going to be more of a. It should be a close game. It's a 45.5 implied total. 6,300. I mean, it looked like it should be another great game going against Seattle. They're allowing 305 passing yards a game. He's 63. He's 75 on FanDuel, so I like the price tag there. But yeah, I think it's a great spot for him. Let me see. Last time, I mean, this is the first time playing Seattle too, so I didn't know that. But I mean, he could either give you 25, 30. It's either. I mean, I feel like the ceiling was 27, but then again, this is a good spot for him here. I think we got the news with T. Higgins. I I gotta put that down because I gotta see what's up with T Higgins, because that's something you might have to look at, to where Tyler Boyd could be something to look at here for low ownership. So T Higgins, let me see his status. He's still questionable. He's day to day. I'm not sure he played. I don't think he practiced today, but yeah, his head coach Zach Taylor stated T Higgins is a day to day with a rib injury going against Seattle Seahawks. He had a rib fracture in week 4 and was held out in week 5 over the Cardinals. So, I mean, it was another play where we just gotta look into the news with Higgins. So let me go ahead and put T Higgins as a questionable spot for the injury watch list. Yeah. Let me see injury list. We got Higgins. Questionable. So yeah, I mean, I like Burrow. I say he's more cash. Is he cash? I mean, he's gonna be highly owned. I feel like everyone's back on the train with Burrow. But he's still a great price tag at 6,300. So you can't deny the price tag here. I'll say he's more cash. More so for cash. I like his price tag though. All right, going to GPPs though. I like Stafford. I'm back on the Stafford here train. I like this play. He's 6,100, I believe, on Draftkings. He's 73 on FanDuel, and like I said, going against Arizona, they're 28th in defense, 29th against the quarterback position. I mean, I see a great stack for, as you saw my cover photo with Karen Williams. I like Rams all day here. Matt Stafford's in a great spot. Arizona's allowing 274 passing yards, 1.6 passing touchdowns a game. I mean, just the whole package. You got Nakua still balling with Cup, and that was my concern last week. But seeing him flourish, I think he got a touchdown as well. Seeing him flourish with Cup is great to see. So, yeah, definitely, it's a great matchup for the Rams, and Stafford. So yes, sir. So I like this spot for Stafford, and he's a great price tag. We're looking at a 48.5 implied total in this matchup. Should be a fast-paced game. Arizona, we got them gems last week, right? I told you about Rondale Moore, right? Marquise Brown, right? I told you Arizona was a nice play. It sucks that Connor got hurt, but like I said, we had some gems last week in our GPPs for receivers, but I like Rams. I like how they utilize Cup and Nakua, and of course Karen Williams in play. So I like this stack for the Rams this weekend. Definitely stack the Rams. I would say cash, but they got some low owned spots here, so I'll say GPP for. I lied. I can't really say GPP because Karen Williams he's going to be highly exposed this week. So I'll say cash Rams. Rams should be a great cash stack. But I like the stack a lot. Thanks, Pat. Yeah, man, I was on it. Only person was Wendell Robinson, but he ended up getting hurt. So, I mean, he was on track to do work in that game for Giants. But we say Rasheed Rice balled out, right? So, we had some great gems. That was like 3,200, 3,700. Who else? Janu Smith balled out for ATL. For his price point. So we did real good on the gems, man. I'm glad we was able to put it out there, man. I was going crazy on Twitter. But, you know, I got to flex a little bit, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we did our due diligence with trying to find some value, you know what I'm saying? And I like how I try to find it and then it works out, you know what I'm saying? So I had to pop my collar on that. You know, I had to. So, um, stacks. I say Rams. I like the. That's one of my favorite stacks for cash is Rams. I think you gotta plug in the Rams all day. I like Cup. I like Nakua again. I like Karen Williams. I like Tyler Higbee. I think he might be a sleeper as a tight end this week. But because Arizona, everyone knows Arizona's a team to pick on with their tight end. So maybe Tyler Higbee get some love. People are missing out on your hype. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're missing out, man. But like I said, man, we got some. I think Tyler Higbee's it could be a great low owned spot. He definitely is due. I think he's definitely due for a big game. Well, I mean, just for his price point, I think Tyler Higbee is a great play. So, yeah, I like the Rams a lot here. So that's my spot for. I'm not when we get to the running backs and receivers for the Rams. I'm not gonna go too in depth because I mean I already rambled a lot for Stafford. So, yeah, I like Stafford a lot here. I like the Rams all the way here. This is definitely the team to pick on if you want some value for your lineups. Let's see. Geno Smith's 5,700 against the Bengals. He's a great value play. Let me see some. I think I kind of faded that spot. I don't think I even looked that route. Going against Cincy. He is questionable too, so I might have to fade Geno here. He is questionable in this matchup. Let me see what happened. Geno's knee is fine. Pete Carroll said that quarterback Geno Smith's knee is fine coming out of the bye week. Smith had to leave game 4 on Monday night against the Giants with the knee injury. Okay, I didn't even know that. I don't think I even watched that game. So yeah, Geno Smith is questionable. But on not Line Star, but on Draft Dashboard, it says he's healthy. So 5,700. I mean, they don't have to. I think it's going to be a game where they have to pass the ball. If we're looking at them to be a -3, so Geno Smith could be a potential GPP play. I mean, we still got Metcalf in a good spot. Lockett still need to bounce back. I mean, this could be a spot for Geno, but I might have to pass on Geno. I don't think anybody ever locked on Geno Smith in their lineups. But then again, people are crazy when it comes to these lineups. So Geno Smith could be a potential spot. I'm just not going to. Geno Smith. I'll just say he's definitely due. I mean, he had 9, 16, 26 in the last 3 games. So it shows he could give you upside, and especially for his price point at 5,700. Could be a good spot for him. Going against the Bengals, but Bengals hasn't been giving up to the quarterbacks as of yet. They're only allowing 213 passing yards to QBs. Let's see. It was Dobbs. He had 11. Tannehill had 13. Stafford had 13. Lamar Jackson had 23. Deshaun Watson had 26. So those are more of the elite quarterbacks, you know. Is Geno to me is like an average QB. I mean, he likes to manage the game. He's a manage the game type of QB, like Purdy type of QB. So for his price point, I think he's a good play, but I'm gonna just fade on that spot. I think the play to look at is Joshua Dobbs at 5,200 on DraftKings. He's only 67 on FanDuel, so I think I might go here with Dobbs going against the Rams. Rams defense is mediocre as well, so I like Dobbs, man. Dobbs been doing well. He had a bad game last game, but I already knew he was going to have a bad game, so he could bounce back in this play here. He had 25, 17, 23, 12. So I could definitely see him give you a 20-plus game here at 5,200. So Joshua Dobbs, I like this play for him. Knowing that Connor is out is definitely going to open. It's going to open up the game script for him to throw the ball. So Joshua Dobbs, I like this play a lot for GPP. I don't think a lot of people are going to be on Joshua Dobbs here. and you got great value for Dobbs. Uh, yeah, but the Rams, they haven't been giving up to the quarterbacks. They only allowed 216 passing yards a game. But we got Dobbs, man. He runs the ball. He's averaging 28 rushing yards a game. Um, so I like this play, Dobbs. You got Jalen Hurts. He balled out with 31. You had Richardson. He gave you 30 against them. I mean, of course, Burrow had 9. Purdy had 14. Geno had 9 in week 1. But I like Dobbs here. For GPP, I'll go to Joshua Dobbs. I think he's a great value play. But if you keep it close, I still like Marquise Brown. Who else on the Who else is on the Arizona squad? I think that's the only guy I really like here for him to throw to is Brown. But he could be the type of player where he gets some rushing touchdowns and do it all. You know, he'll probably do it all for a squad. You know, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, la. So I'm gonna say, if Dodge will be in my player pool. Yeah, I like him a lot here. So I'm gonna go ahead and see position. I'm gonna put him as GPP for Dobbs. I like him. I like him to show out. I mean, he has to because without Connor, he's gonna have to do some work here. So I keep spelling Dobbs wrong. Let's see how you spell Dobbs. Dobbs. Yeah, I like Dobbs for GPP. You got Gardner Minshew with the injury with Richardson. I think they say he'd be out for a few weeks. You got Gardner Minshew. That could be a potential value here. I mean, he's 5,000 on Draftkings. He's 65 on FanDuel. I think they have to throw the ball against Jags. They're 24th against opposing QBs. He definitely opened up the passing game with Pittman. I think it could be a bounce back game for Pittman for this weekend. So I like Minshew. What happened? Okay, hold on. What happened? Come here. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Hold on. What happened? I don't know what happened. You okay?
Mellow beat.
Mic check. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know what happened. Mic check. Mic check. I should be straight. Like Dobbs, Minshew, 5,000. Okay. All right. Thanks, Pat. I'm not sure about Minshew. I mean, we got the whole. This could be a game. I mean, it's GPP, right? Because you got the whole uh, revenge narrative against Jags. So he has something to prove here, right? He could prove that they lost out. They could have kept him, So there's a potential, play where he steps up and make it pop. So Gardner Minshew, just for the sense of the revenge narrative, I forgot that he played on the Jags, but he was their guy before all of this, So before Trevor, so it could be a matchup to where it's like, look, me versus you type mindset. So I'll go and say Minshew GPP. I spell Minshew. Minshew the third. Second. I'm gonna go ahead and just put Lawrence as cash, because a lot of people gonna play Lawrence over Minshew. So I'll say Lawrence as cash. GPP Minshew. And like I said, I like Pittman a lot here. It does open up the game where Jonathan Taylor back, so this could be a great game to look into. So I like this play for Indy. I'll go GPP for Indy as well. I think Zach Moss. I didn't think Zach Moss was going to ball out last week like that. So I'm more likely not going to be on that end on Zach Moss, but I do like Pittman. Our guy last time was Downs, I believe. Downs did well, right? Downs was our gym player, and he did well. So it could be a great game for Pittman. I think Pittman. I think last time that Minshew started, it definitely was upside for Pittman. So it could be another matchup where Pittman does work. I do like this game script. I like Christian Kirk and Pittman as a potential game stack. So do like this game a lot here for Minshew and the Colts. All right, let's go down. Yes, sir. Downs, he did his work. All right, so we got Desmond Ridder, 5,000 as well, going against Washington. Washington just shows that they're just shit in a different toilet, man. It's bad looking at the the Commanders. Sorry. And my thing about Ridder, he did ball out against Houston last week. I think that's his ceiling, in my opinion. That was his ceiling game. So I feel like he could be still around 20 fantasy points, but for his price tag, he's 5,000 on DraftKings. He's 68 on FanDuel. I do like this play a lot. Washington's defense is giving up 251 passing yards. I do like the Atlanta stack here. 100%, man. We all thought that, with this whole new management and all this stuff is going to change the culture, right? But I definitely like Ridder here playing at home against Washington. I do like London. We go to another gym player. I do like Mac Hollins. This is Mac Hollins, I believe. Mac Hollins is a great value play for this week. So I definitely like the Atlanta stack here. Of course, you got Robinson. I like Atlanta. 5,000 for Ridder. I think it's a great play. Even if I think 29 to me, honestly, to be fair, 29 fantasy points is a ceiling in my opinion against Houston, but he can still give you 20 plus here against Commanders, and that's what you need for a 5K player, right? So yeah, he balled out, man. He had 29 fantasy points. What do you have? 3 touchdowns? What do you have? No, I'm sorry. He only had 1 touchdown. So he's just slinging the ball, man. He had 1 touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown. And I could see that happening again. I could see 2 touchdowns this week. So he shows he can give you fantasy points in other ways than touchdowns, and that's a plus. Because a lot of times when you see 29 fantasy points, you think like 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns and some action. But this guy was just throwing the ball all game. And like I said, Danu Smith and Pitts finally got involved in the offense. Shows that they could click. So I guess Commanders at home, I think is a great play for Ridder for GPP. So I like this play a lot for him. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead and put Ritter in there. Ritter, GPP. All right, and this is my play. I think y'all might not like me on this play, but I was talking to my coworkers about this play, and everybody's like shitted on me this whole week. But I like Zach. I like Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's a good spot. He's 4,900, right? He's the guy. Listen to me now. He's 4,900. He's what is he? 65 on FanDuel, but he's in a good spot against the Eagles, right? There is a 41 implied total. My reason I like here, I mean, the fact that he gave you 20 against Kansas City, not saying that Kansas City's defense is like the Eagles, obviously, but he's in a great matchup game to where Eagles give up a lot on. He's a Ritter, yeah. Ritter's impressed me too, man, but I do like Zach Wilson. A lot of people are not on Zach. He had 20 fantasy points, and they lost by 3 against the Chiefs, right? And I think he likes, I mean, the pressure is there, obviously, but he can step up, and I like the stack here. Like, I like Garrett Wilson. I like Conklin again. I mean, I don't think Breece Hall would be a factor this week. We had Breece Hall last week, and he balled out. I don't think he's that much of a factor against the Eagles this week, but he going to have to throw the ball. He had 2 touchdowns last week. I'm sorry, against the Chiefs. He had 245 passing yards. I can see that happening again here against the Eagles. I think he can step up here. He can make it competitive. I'm not saying they're gonna win the game. Not saying that. If they win, I wouldn't be surprised, right? But they're 2-3. Eagles is undefeated. I think it's only the Niners and the Eagles, but I see Zach being competitive here. So for 4,900, I will have a lot of Zach Wilson in my lineups. I like Garrett. I like another gym play. I do like Alan Lazard. So Lazard. I like what's his name? Alan. Is it Alan Lazard or Alex? 1 or 2. I like Lazard here. Lazard is a great value play as well. So I like Zach Wilson, man. I think a lot of people sleeping on this play. 4,900. Yeah, Eagles secondary is beat up. I think Zach is in a good spot, man, to keep it competitive, give you upside for his price tag to where you could pay up elsewhere. I think this position for this week is definitely going to be the value side this week. I don't think you have to play a Fields. It's Allen, yeah, it's Allen Lazard. I thought it was Alex or Al. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to pay Fields. You don't have to pay Burrow. I think the GPP side, the value side, Stafford, Dobbs, Minshew, Ritter, Zach Wilson. I think those are the guys you should play in your lineups for value. And then you can pay up elsewhere on your lineups. Like I always say, you gotta see each position and try to dissect where you should pay low and where you should pay up, right? So I think the QB spot for this week is to pay low here for this weekend. So I'm not going to fade Zach Wilson. I think he's in a good spot. The Eagles is giving up a lot to QBs. They're giving up 267 passing yards. They're giving up 2.2 passing touchdowns a game. Stafford had 17. Sam Howell had 19, almost 20 in that game. Kirk Cousins in week 2 had 32 fantasy points, right? So you had, I think he played at home, but still, Kirk Cousins giving you 32 against Eagles, and a lot of people saying the Eagles defense, this and that. I mean, Kirk Cousins could sling the ball. I think Zach Wilson could open it up. You even had Mac Jones. Mac Jones had 28, and when was the last time we seen Mac Jones ball like that, right? And you telling me he ball like that against the Eagles? Why not Zach Wilson? I always compared Mac Jones to Zach Wilson. They just look alike. To me, they just play alike. So Mac Jones, to me, if Mac Jones can give you almost 30 fantasy points, I think Zach Wilson could give you almost 25 plus right here. So Zach Wilson, 4,900. I love this play a lot. To keep it competitive, he's gonna have to throw the ball against the Eagles, and he got the weapons to do so. So I like this play here. And you see me blow up Twitter because Zach Wilson went off. Don't, hey, I'm talking my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like this play for Zach Wilson. Zach Wills. All right, so I think we did all right with QBs. We got Fields, Burrow, Lawrence, GPP. We got Stafford, Dobbs, Minshew, Ritter, and Zach Wilson. I like that a lot for my QBs. Let's go ahead and dissect the running backs for week 6. Also, let me know what you think. What type of QBs are you on? Pat, especially you as well. Let me know what type of QBs you're on for this week. But I definitely like this a lot. All right, so let's get to the running backs. Robinson, right? Bijan Robinson going against Washington. He's in a great spot. He's 7,200. He's 76 on FanDuel. He's definitely in the play to where he should get a touchdown or two. Yeah, I like this play for Robinson. He's going to be cash just for his price point. But I like him a lot in this game script. So going to go for cash. I think Bijan Robinson is a great play to look at for his price point on both platforms. Let's see who else. I like Wilson, Stafford, Dobbs. All right, cool. Appreciate you, Jay. All right, I mean Travis going against Colts. I feel like he was his. I mean, what they had? What 3 touchdowns? I don't know how many touchdowns he had last week. Let me double check. I think it was 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns, 4 for 5 in passing. Yeah, he was all over the place last week. He's 7,100. He's 77 on FanDuel. I mean, it's neck to neck with Robinson, but I like Robinson more so here in this game script over Travis. Let's see. Yeah, I like this game script more so. So I like Robinson over Travis. I think Travis that was his ceiling last game. But then again, he's going against the Colts. Let's see Colts defense. They're giving up 89 rushing yards. It's the same. It's roughly around the Commanders. They're giving around that same amount of yards a game. They're giving up a touchdown a game. Travis is still in a good spot, but yeah, I'm more likely going to fade Travis in this game script. Let's go down the list. Like I said, Karen Williams for 6,500. I love this play. I think he's a lock for sure here. I think he's got to lock it in, man. Arizona. Yeah, exactly. I think Colts they're gonna open up the game script for the receivers per se. Besides Travis here, so that's why I'm going to pay down. I've been paid down to Karen Williams. Like he's averaging what 18.5 fantasy points a game. He's only 6,500. I feel like he should be 7,000 this week, and they still priced him under 7,000. I wouldn't be surprised if he's over 7,000 next week, especially in this game script against Arizona. They did price him high on FanDuel. I think he's 82 on FanDuel. So yeah, he's priced up on FanDuel, but love this play for Draftkings. Arizona is allowing to average 100 rushing yards a game, over 30 fantasy points a game to the running backs. So I think you just got to set it and forget it in this play here for Karen Williams. To me, he's a lock for sure. He's going to be cash, but love this play. Let's see, Smith. Hold on, let me make some changes on my favorite stacks. I said Rams. I said GPP. I think Arizona GPP for a stack. Who else I said was a good stack? Indy. Uh, who else is a good stack I was talking about? I think that's it for right now. Positions. Yeah, I think you just got to plug in Karen Williams here. Cash. Overall, he's a great play. I think he's going to give you 30 plus here. You got another play. You got Mostert against Carolina. I think it's also another spot where it's going to be high ownership here. It's going to be neck to neck with Karen Williams in ownership, but Raheem Mostert is in an ideal spot without Achan. I think that sucks. I mean, it sucks how that happened for Achan. Like, this guy was on a record type of season, the way he was balling out. But you got to look at Mostert against Carolina. They're allowing 128 rushing yards a game. He's going to get a lot of usage in his offense. I don't really see much into the passing game here for Miami, but I like Mostert. I think it does open up for some other value running backs. But I think Mostert's going to get most of the carries. Stop playing that music, please. But yeah, it's a great spot for him. He's averaging 30.5 fantasy points. Playing at home so far for the season. He had 45 against Denver at home. He had 15 against the Giants, but that was when Achan balled out. I'm going to go Mostert for 6,400. Like, this is a spot where you should definitely pay like the 6K range in running backs. You can have a Mostert and Williams lineup right here. So, position-wise, I think for cash, Mostert's definitely a play, but love his price tag. All day on that spot. I like this play for him. Yeah, he's a great play for it. Let's see what else. Mostert. All right. I mean, we got some good spots for running backs this week. You got Alvin Kamara. Where's Kamara at? Kamara, where are you? Did I pass Kamara? What the fuck he at? There he is, up top. 6,800 for Alvin Kamara. I like the price tag on more so on FanDuel. He's only 75 on FanDuel, but this guy's been connecting well. I mean, just coming into. I mean, I'm glad to see that he's getting back in his stride. You know, ever since his injury and whatnot. So I like this play for Alvin Kamara. Hell yeah, it's definitely a play. I like the 3-man stack. If you want to stack like Alvin Kamara, Mostert, Karen Williams at the flex, I think this is a great play to where you have 3 running backs in your lineup this week. I can't deny this play. Like, Houston's garbage against running backs. He's the type of running back where he's going to give you targets. I mean, even what game he had 14 targets on? He had 14 targets against Tampa. Like, they don't have no receiver like that other than Olave. So Alvin Kamara is everywhere, man, and he's embracing it too. So he plays better in domes. So is the dome playing at home? I'm sorry, playing at Houston is a dome stadium, so that helps out with that stat. He's averaging 8.5 targets, and he's doing it in the last 2 games. He's getting the targets. Tampa, he had 13 for 14 in passing and in receiving. That's crazy. He had a touchdown last week against New England. I think it's a potential 2-touchdown game for him this week. But he had 23 fantasy points last time he played Houston. That was when he played at home, but that was 2019. But I could definitely see him give me 20 plus again, and I like his price tag. Like, these prices, you have Travis at 71, right? I think Kamara should have been 7,000 this week. The fact that he's under 7,000 and he's still cheap on FanDuel is a lot play. Like, he should be over 7,000, even 8,000 on FanDuel. And the fact they got all these, they're baiting. I feel like they're baiting you with the other players, but Kamara is showing you upside, and he's going against a Houston team that's giving up against running backs. I think you should definitely lock him in. This is definitely a slate where you should have 3 running backs in your lineup this week. So Alvin Kamara definitely in play. Lala, stop playing the music, please. I can't even hear myself. Let's see. Yeah, I like him a lot here. I think he's cash too. I mean, there's a lot of cash spots, right? There's a lot of cash spots. But we gotta find the value for running backs. But I mean, all these running backs in cash, and they're great plays. Like Robinson is in a great play. I'm more likely gonna stick to like Williams, Mostert, and Kamara in my lineups. I mean, we can still try to find value. It's still, I mean, we have to find it, right? I mean, I still like DeAndre Swift is still too cheap, man. DeAndre Swift going against the Jets, it's still a good spot for him. I mean, he's only 6,100. Like they still priced him too cheap. 6,100 on DraftKings, 72 on FanDuel. Like that's too cheap for Swift. I think Swift is going to be more so lower owned than those guys. And I mean, to me, he's cash, but he's giving you value every game. The Jets is allowing 106 rushing yards a game. Yeah, I like him a lot here. I like Swift for his price point. So I put Swift as GPP. He's definitely gonna be lower owned than other guys, but he's definitely a play where he's still giving you value. He's averaging 16.8 fantasy points a game. Yeah, he hasn't given you a bad game yet. I don't believe. I think it was the New England game 1, but they kind of like didn't put him in the game. Like they kind of like try to fit him in the system. But DeAndre Swift in the last 4 games, he's giving you value for his price point. So I like this play for DeAndre Swift. I'll say more GPP because just the fact of, I mean, obviously there's other plays that you could look at. So Swift, I think he's a good spot for GPP. See what else. Who else we got? We talked about Montgomery last week, and he went ape shit again. So going against Carolina, he's going against Tampa this week. I mean, damn man, Montgomery's been on his game. He's 7,300. But going against Tampa, they're giving up only 83 rushing yards a game. But Kamara had 21. Swift had 18. Madison had 13. So Montgomery's still a cash spot. I'm more likely not gonna pay this price. I mean, he could ball out again. Like this guy's getting targets. Last week he had 6 targets. He's getting the carries. Like I like the way they're utilizing him in Detroit. Like they're utilizing him the way the Bears should have had. You know what I mean? The whole point. I hated the fact that how the Bears treated Montgomery, but I mean you can't deny the production that Montgomery's giving you, right? Even in these matchups, he's still giving you crazy value for his matchups. I mean, he went to Green Bay and Carolina, but when he didn't produce against Kansas City, he didn't produce against the Seahawks. So this could be a downside game, but maybe not. I mean, it's a cash spot. But I'm not more so looking at Montgomery. I just wanted to mention him because, I mean, he is doing his thing. But this could be a game where it goes back down to earth for him this week. But like I said, like Khalil Herbert, like he had 8 and 25 in the last 2. He's only 5,700. Instead, he didn't practice in week 6. And he didn't practice on Wednesday. So just looking to the status with Herbert. I don't know what happened to him, but it could open up if he's Herbert could be a good spot against Minnesota for 5,300. I'm just trying to find value, so I see a lot of places more so cash, but I don't really see as much GPP spots for running backs. I mean, you got Madison. I think a lot of people gonna be on Madison this week against the Bears. I mean, everything opens up for Minnesota, right? Without Jefferson, so they're gonna have to open up the offense more. Madison could be a value play, but 5,600. He is 69 on FanDuel. I can't pull the trigger on Madison. I think the value. I'm gonna put him as value. He's value, right? I'm just gonna say he's value for running backs. I gotta put something there, right? I gotta put something in that spot. So I put Madison just for the value. He's under 6,000. I mean, we know they have to open up the offense without Jefferson, right? So let's go ahead and put Madison there for value. Madison for value, and let me put the injury list. We got Jefferson. Let's put Triple J out. Dang, it sucks because I think today they just said that he went on injury reserve, which sucks for Jefferson. Okay. I think that's it for running backs, y'all. I think I kind of dissected that. It's kind of, I like the fact that it's kind of plain for running backs this week. I didn't want to dissect it as much because in the last couple live streams, it was hard to choose running backs. But it was kind of short and simple with running backs this week. Let's go into the receiver side. There's some good receivers this weekend. There's going to be some value plays as well. All right. You got Jamar Chase, right? 8,300 on Draftkings. They boom him up on FanDuel for 9,300, right? Against Seattle. I mean, his ceiling, that was obvious a ceiling play, right? Against Arizona. 3 touchdowns. Short but very solid on running backs this week. Yeah, it's really short but solid. Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to go too crazy on running backs. And on top of that, I hate having a big pool of players. I'm trying to condense the pool, right? So I didn't want to go too crazy on running backs. It's kind of self-explanatory with running backs this week. But let's go to Jamar Chase going against Seattle. I mean, this is the first game they played against Seattle, so it's really up in the air, right? So I don't want to say you gotta play Jamar Chase because we don't really have any info on how he played prior to them, but Seattle's giving up a lot to receivers, right? They're giving up 220 receiving yards to the position. That's crazy. So like I said, with T. Higgins out, then it just obviously opens up more for Chase. I mean, even with the price point, even if he give you 30 this week, it still pays his price tag. I mean, it just gives a high ceiling, right? The ceiling is so high to where even if he give you 20 plus, it pays his price tag. So I'm going to still say Jamar Chase is a great play. I mean, Seattle is struggling against receivers, so why not play him? So I'm going to say Chase. Obviously, is cash. I mean, everyone's on a bandwagon. He can still do damage again. I mean, like I said, when he was asking for the ball, I mean, Burrow, you got a great receiver. He said he's always open. I mean, you're looking at the second best, more likely the second best receiver in the league now without Jefferson in play. He's going to try to earn that number 1 spot, So, well, I say Tyreek Hill's number 2, but, yeah, he's still top 5 in the league. So, yeah, I think Jamar Chase still play. Like, the ceiling was so high last week. You're talking about 55 fantasy points to where he could still give you 25, 30 in the spot against Seattle. So, got to look at Jamar Chase. I think it's cash for a price point. Everyone's on the bandwagon with Bengals. So, you still got to like that play, right? Cooper Kupp is 9,000. 87 on FanDuel. Like, this guy, I like it a lot, right? I like Kupp, man, but 9,000 coming off his injury. I mean, it's just crazy how they're pricing these guys, man, and I'm not paying that price tag for them. not paying 9,000. I remember last year. I think he was like 10,000. I think he was almost 10,000. I think he was 10,000 last year. Was he 10,000? He was balling out so crazy. I think he was 10,000 last year. But he paid his price, right? He was going crazy before Nakua came in the mix. But it's just insane. I think he was, man. I think he was. Let me see. I got stats to see if he was 10,000 last year. No, he wasn't. The highest. No, he was. Week 3, he was 9. He was 9.9. So I mean, it's still 10,000. He was 9. He was almost 10. He was 10. Basically 10,000 in week 3 last year. Then he went to 92, 96, 97, 96, 89, 9,000. And then he got injured for the rest of the season. So, yeah, he's one of those guys to where his price is going to constantly go up, man. So, Cooper Kupp is up there, cash. I mean, like I said, I like the Rams a lot. But I feel like you could just, instead of paying for Kupp, you could pay down to Chase easily. Even then, you got Nakua. I'd rather pay $8,000 for Nakua. So, let's go to Nakua, right? Nakua's in a great spot. He's still, and that's the thing too. I like the fact that he still got his targets. He had 11 targets last week, even with Kupp. So that shows that, I mean, Kupp had 12, but he had 11. So it shows. I like the fact, and that was what I was scared about, right? I was scared how Stafford was going to utilize the passing game with Kupp because he always been like that one-dimensional. Excuse me. He was always that one-dimensional quarterback, like. When Kupp is playing, he's constantly eyeing Kupp, right? So my issue was with him coming back that he was gonna ignore Nakua. But the fact that he still got 11 targets, I'm liking that, and a great game script, a high game script as well. 4,800. I'm sorry, 8,000 for Nakua. He's only 79 on FanDuel. I think you should go to Nakua over Kupp, but regardless, I like both guys here, and they're both going to be cash. Just for the price point, but I like both here. So, yeah, I think you gotta have both. I think you don't have to have both, but I'd rather go Chase and Nakua, right? They paid 9,000 for Kupp, but I like both here, Nakua and Kupp at cash. It then opens up value going down. You got AJ Brown going against the Jets. He's 7,800. He's 82 on FanDuel. I mean, he's up in the air for me. I'm not really on him like that. I'd rather pay to Nakua over AJ Brown. So I'm gonna pass on that end. You got Calvin Ridley against the Colts. I'm not really on him on that. I like DJ Moore. I like his price tag. He's balling. I think with the connection with Fields is gonna. I think Moore he's gonna ball out. I think he's in a great spot against Minnesota. I think it's gonna be another touchdown type of mindset here. 100-yard type of mindset. Yeah, Minnesota's giving up 209 receiving yards to the position. He's one of those guys. I mean, he's getting 6.8 targets a game, 23.8 fantasy points. He is their guy, right? So I'm going back to the well for his price point. Yeah, you got to go back here, man. The ceiling, like I said, just like Chase, his ceiling is so high that where he could go back to 30 fantasy points in his matchup. So, like I said, I don't think you have to pay Kupp. Like, Kupp is 9,000, but you got DJ Moore that could give you Kupp fantasy points. So GPP, I'm gonna go Moore. I just like this. I like the fact he's still in 6,000 range. I like him a lot here. Yeah, like him a lot here. Another play, Garrett Wilson. Like I stated before, I think he's another great play. 6,000 on Draftkings, 69 on FanDuel. Like I said, I feel like he's going to be a great play to mix in with Zach Wilson. He had 15 fantasy points against the Chiefs. And I feel like the game script, they have to throw the ball here. So I feel like he's still going to be that guy to give you 15 plus in this play. He could even give you a touchdown too. So, yeah, I like this game script for Garrett Wilson and the Zach Wilson connection, right? So, yeah, I like Garrett Wilson as well. Who else is in a good spot? You got Adam Thielen. I told you Adam Thielen's gonna ball out. He did his work. He gave you 31 last week. I'm off the train this week. With him. I like Christian Kirk for value. It's 5,400 for Christian Kirk. He's getting the targets. I already mentioned them earlier. So this is a great game script. It's a great game script for Christian Kirk against the Colts. Let's see what happened. So check this out. The last time he played at home against the Colts, he had 2 touchdowns, 25 fantasy points. That's something good to know. So with Minshew, I'm sorry, why am I talking about Minshew? I don't know why I'm talking about. Sorry, disregard Minshew. What the fuck I'm talking about Minshew for? Oh, I was looking at Michael Pittman. But yeah, I like Kirk a lot for GPPs. He's only 5,000. I think that's a great price tag for Kirk. Yeah, great price tag for Kirk here. So there's other plays to look at. You don't have to go Chase. You don't have to go Cup. I feel like you might have to play Chase. But like I said, you could go Nakua, Chase, and then you get some value, right? Or you could just go Nakua, Moore, and then go from there, right? I feel like Moore would be more of the substitute for Chase and Cup, right? I feel like Moore will give you Chase and Cup's numbers this week. So you don't have to play Chase. You save $3,000 up to $3,000 to just play Moore, and you get your fantasy points around that same price tag, right? So yeah, I like that a lot for Moore here. So I'm more likely going to play Moore over Cup and Chase just to save money on that end. Yeah, that's basically what I'll do. Michael Pittman, where is he at? We got Drake London. I like Drake London a lot for his value. He's 4,800 against Washington. I like Atlanta stack, like I said before. So, yeah, I like Drake London here at 4,800. I think he's great value for his price point against the Commanders. Let's see. Oh boy. Boy, getting tired, y'all. Let me just double check real fast. Where is he at? Alright, there he is. Let's see when last time he played. So he never played Washington at home. Yeah, London's overlooked. I think he's in a good spot. Like I said, Washington's giving up a lot on receivers. They're giving up 206 not passing yards. They're giving up 206 receiving yards to receivers. Yeah, he's in a good spot. DJ Moore, he's the number 1 receiver. So yeah, DJ Moore, he had 52. He had AJ Brown that went crazy, he had 41. Stephon Diggs had 22. And then they had Judy and Brown. So London being the number 1 receiver, 4,800. Love the value for his price. So yeah, you could definitely get some London action here for value. And yeah, London's definitely being overlooked. I'm not on Tyler Boyd as of yet. Tyler Boyd, he has 7 targets, but if Higgins is out, I'm definitely looking at Tyler Boyd for 4,600 to help you on that end, on that line, on your lineups. So Tyler Boyd could be a factor against Seattle. Was he? Let me double check and see if he was a factor previously against Seattle. I mean, last time he played Seattle was 2019. He had 14 fantasy points, 8 receptions, 11 targets, no touchdowns. And it's 2019 though, so that's a whole different ball team. Let's keep going. Let's find some more value. Yeah, Marquise Brown, 5,300. I mean, he's been giving you consistent numbers. He's averaging 15.2 fantasy points a game. He had two 10 target games in the last 2 games. He is their guy, y'all. I mean, you gotta look at Marquise Brown if you need somebody at 5,000 range. I like the value for Marquise Brown. He hasn't shown that he could give you like crazy numbers, but I mean, to get a 5,000 guy that could give you 3 times his value is definitely somebody you want to look at. So I do like Marquise Brown just for his price point. I mean, they're keeping it reasonable. So I like Marquise Brown for his price point. And same as Christian Kirk, they're both in play, but I like Marquise Brown. I think Christian Kirk is priced less on FanDuel. He's 66 on FanDuel. And on FanDuel, Marquise Brown is 7,000. So yeah, they both in play for value. Let's see, we got Alan Lazard, my gem play for the week. 3,700. He only had 4 targets last week, but he had 3 targets against the Chiefs, and I think he had a touchdown that game. And that's all he needs, right? And like I said, it's a great game script. I'm going Alan Lazard for 3,700 for value. A lot of people it's gonna be low on, and I think if you need somebody to where if you're gonna pay up for like a Cup or Chase, you might want to add. You might have Cup and Chase in your lineups, right? You could give yourself a 3,700 Lazard that could give you 14 fantasy points. He might give you 15 this week, right? And that'd be optimal, right? So, Alan Lazard to me is a great gem spot. That's my gem spot, right, for the week. I'm gonna put gem. If I put an asterisk next to his name, that's gonna be my gem play. So I'm gonna put an asterisk on Lazard for gem. I think Alan Lazard is definitely be overlooked here in this matchup. Like the game script, like he's gonna get the ball. I think he's gonna get the ball. He might get a touchdown. I mean, somebody gotta get a touchdown for the Jets. I mean, yeah, he got Garrett, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lazard got it. It really impressed me with against the Chiefs, and it shows that he'll step up to competition when it matters, right? So I think Zach Wilson will step up in this matchup against Hurts and the Eagles, right? So like this play for him. Michael Pittman, 6,300. I do like him, but what did I talk about with Minshew? I don't know if I still want to play Minshew, but I think that's got to be his guy, right? It has to be his guy, is Pittman. But me talking about the other 6K players and the 5K players, I'd rather go to the 5K players than paying for Pittman. I might be wrong here, but if it's going to be a close game, he's going to be involved in the offense. I think he has good connection with Minshew as well. And he's balled out against Jags in the last 3 seasons. Pittman had 20, 29, and 23 against the Jags. Last time he played at Jacksonville, he had 20 fantasy points with a touchdown, 6 for 7 with a touchdown. So Pittman, for his price point, he could be. I mean, maybe he likes the ball out against Jags, right? So I'll still put him in my player pool. Because he could go optimal, right? He could give you 20 plus like he's always been against Jags. So I'll go Pittman as GPP. I don't know if I want him GPP. I mean, I think he'd be low on, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna just plug him in there. I just feel like he's in a good spot still. I don't want to add too many players, y'all. We got Chase, Cup, Nakua, Moore, Wilson, Kirk, Pittman, London, Marquise Brown, Lazard, Lazard, or however you pronounce his name. Devontae Adams going against the Patriots. It's going to be a ugly game. I'm more like, I don't know. I might pass, man. 8,100 for Adams, and he's questionable. What's he got going on with him? Rated shoulder injury. He was a non-participant in Wednesday's practice. He had he had an injury last week. He messed up my lineup, but yeah. We gotta look at the news with Adams. Let's go ahead and add my injury list. Let's put Adams in that bitch. He's questionable. Let's see. What else we got here? Brandon Ayuk going against Cleveland. It's going to be a tough game against Cleveland. They're like number 1 against receivers. So it's going to be I think the Niners game is going to be an ugly game against the Browns. I'm not even pulling anything against the Browns. I think Myers for the Raiders. He's 58, but I'm not pulling the trigger on that. And I kind of knew he's going to be an uptrend game. He had 16-5. I kind of knew he was going to be a bounce-back game for Myers. He's also questionable, dealing with I don't know what he's dealing with. He was limited in practice, so I don't know what happened. That whole team is being beat up. Talk about Michael Thomas last week. He was still valued for 4,900. He gave you 10. It's not bad, but I don't know about all that. It wasn't good enough, right? Devontae Smith at 7,000. He's due. Where is he at? Where is AJ Brown? Everybody's due for Philly, right? 7,800 for AJ Brown is due. He had 25, 42, 22. It could be a crazy game for Philly. They could go crazy. Brown could go crazy. Maybe I'm just so optimistic with the Jets defense here, but Brown and Devontae Williams. I said Devontae Williams and Devonta Smith. They look like they should bounce back in this matchup. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go that route though. They're both 7K. I'm not gonna pay 7K for both receivers. But they both might give you 70. They both might give you 25 plus. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. What are you doing? So we're playing her toys. So as you can see, my man cave became the playground for kids. As you can see. I'm not sure if I want to pull a trigger on this game. Well, with Devonta Smith. I like Nico Collins. I think it's another bounce back game for him here in this game script. He had 14, 31, 5, 39, 7. To me, it's another bounce back game here for Nico Collins at 5,600. Going against New Orleans. Let me see. Olivia, take that to the living room. Olivia, is anything playing in the living room? The TV? Hold on, I'll be back. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Oh, Lala, go into the living room with sister. I'm gonna look up Nico Collins. Nico Collins. Okay, so yo, he do, y'all. So New Orleans is allowing 144 yards to the receivers. I like this spot for Arizona. I think Nico Collins is a great play. I think for another value spot, I like Michael Wilson for Arizona. He had 26 against the Niners, which I was pissed off about that. He has 7 for 7 with 2 touchdowns against the Niners, y'all. So, and he's only 3,800. So yeah, I like Nico Collins, and we talked about Arizona being a sleeper. I'm gonna go Nico here, and for value, I'm gonna go Michael Wilson. 3,800 for Michael Wilson. Position. See, I got too many damn players, man. Value, what I say? Nico, GPP, I think Nico Collins. Nico Collins is due for another 20-plus game. I like gym player will be, what I say, Michael Wilson. I think he's another gym play for value. He's only 3,800, so you could plug in some 3K guys to hopefully give you 10 plus, even 20 plus. I didn't think Michael Wilson was gonna give me but that's the thing I'm talking about. Like the fact that Connor is out, it opens up the passing game, right? So with Connor being out, it's just gonna open up the passing game to where Michael Wilson could eat Nico Collins. What am I talking about? Hold on. I'm tripping. Collins is different. I'm talking about that's Stroud. Okay, that's Stroud. My bad. Michael Wilson in his Arizona game with Brown is great value. It opens up the game script with the passing game for Brown and Wilson. So, yeah, I think those two guys are in play without Connor. Right? Who else is questionable? We got. Of course, you got KJ Osborne with the whole news with JJ. KJ Osborne is, I mean, he's 4,400, so I like the value for KJ here. The last time he played at Chicago, he had 18 fantasy points. He was 5 for 6. And he didn't have a touchdown. So if he has a touchdown with those type of numbers, he's gonna be crazy value. So Osborne, I think you have to have some love for Osborne in your lineups. He's basically their number one receiver, right? So for value, I think you have to play Osborne. You have to. Like, I ain't gonna say you have to, but I mean, the fact that he had 5 for 6 in passing last time he played at Chicago, they're playing back at Chicago again this year. If he just gets a touchdown with those numbers, he's easily 20 plus, and he's only 4,400, and that's alarming that he's not at least 5,000. Um, and on FanDuel, they priced him what? They priced him at 6,000, so it's a great play overall. On both platforms, he's even cheaper than Tyler Boyd, and that's crazy. So knowing the outcome, knowing the situation, knowing they have to pass the ball in this game script, Osborne is going to be that guy. Even if he gets the targets, if he gives you seven catches, I mean, he's paying his price tag. Yeah, I think you have to play. I feel like just his price tag, you have to lock in Osborne. Um, yeah, I think you have to lock in Osborne for even Is it GBP? Yeah, I mean, I like Osborne a lot. I mean, he's going to be involved. He's going to be the number one receiver other than Hawkinson, right? But it's going to be, and that's the thing. It's going to be up to Cousins, right? Cousins, like I said, Cousins just fumbles the ball. Like, he just fumbles the bag when it comes to him playing away. Like, when he's playing outdoors, it's going to be up to Cousins, right? I'm not concerned more so Osborne. I'm concerned about Cousins. He's the type where he's going to cause mistakes. He's going to force the ball. There's going to be a lot of interceptions because he's trying to feed Osborne, or he's trying to make plays without Jefferson's one of those guys you just throw it up and he'll go get it, right? But he's going to have to be accurate with these throws and not force these balls to his receivers to where he could cause. Chicago defense is easily a good spot to look at. Just knowing how he plays, just knowing how Cousins play. So my concern is not Osborne. I'll say he's GPP because he has the ceiling to go off. My concern is more so Cousins ruining his chances, right? But at 4,400, he just needs the catches. Even if he give you 5 catches, if he gets a touchdown with a 5 catch, like, he's paying his price tag easily. So you have to look at Osborne. Josh Downs, I might fade him this week. I liked him last week, but I'm not going to force Downs this week. Rondell Moore, I'm not going to force him this week. Maybe. So Rondell Moore, last year he played at LA. He had 18 fantasy points. He had 9 receptions, 13 targets last time he played at LA. So that's intriguing to know. And like I said, with the injuries, am I talking about the same team? Yeah, with the injuries with Connor, if he got 13 targets last year, let me see what his targets was like last week. What is? Let me type his name in. Rondell Moore. Rondell. He had 5 targets last week, and you tell me last year he had 13. Sound like somebody was out. A couple people had been out. I'm not gonna force it, man. He's throwing 3,500, so I mean he is a play. He is a play without Connor, so he is a play to look at. They're gonna have to throw the ball to keep the game interesting against the Rams. I mean, they're not gonna be able to run the ball, so Dobbs has to throw the ball, right? It's only like a 1-game script for Arizona this week. He has to throw the ball. We're looking at him being being a GPP play, right? He's good value. He could be. Rondell Moore could be a factor here. The fact that he showed off last year at LA. Yeah, I think Rondell Moore. I think you still plug him in there, right? just the game script alone, I think you have to look at Rondale Moore and Marquise Brown. So I'll just put a slash next to. I'll just put a slash next to what's his name? Marquise Brown. Put a slash Moore. Rondale Moore. There you go. I mean, I like the value. I mean, someone has to get the ball. I mean, there's nobody running the ball. I don't see anybody running the ball for Arizona. The only person going to run the ball is Dobbs. That's the only. He's the only player that's going to run the ball on Arizona. And so, yeah, that's it. I mean, case closed on that. Y'all let me know who else is a factor this game. I think that's about it. I think I'm done with receivers. I was trying to look up the status for, the stats for, what's his name? McLaurin. McLaurin could be a good spot against ATL. I mean, they're going to have to throw the ball. They got to be a factor here, right? He had 5, 16, went down to 10. He balled out 23. That was a game we called that game, right? He gave us 23 that game. He went down to 9, right? He's only 5,500 on Draftkings. He is 69 on Fan. I mean, he's a good spot. I think McLaurin, they gonna have to throw the ball to Atlanta. Like Atlanta could make it's gonna be a good game, but Howard gonna have to throw the ball. I don't see what's his name. I don't see Robinson being a factor for the Commanders. I don't see Gibson being a factor. I don't see Dotson being a factor. Maybe Thomas, maybe Logan Thomas. But Terry McLaurin, if he has to get the ball, right? He only had 5 targets last week. He had 10 targets the game that we called, right? He bought out that game we called out. Luckily, he had that touchdown. Yeah, that touchdown was a fumble. It was a Robinson fumbled at the goal line. He got a touchdown when he got the ball back. So it helped out in that favor, right? But he had 10 targets that game. I feel like in this game script, Washington has to throw the ball against ATL. McLaurin for his price point is intriguing. I like the 555. It doesn't hurt. He can give you another 20-plus game. He might give you an 18-plus game. But it definitely is going to factor the touchdown. Like he has to give you a touchdown, right, to factor that price tag. Just for his price point, he has to give you at least 18 plus here. I can still see give you 15 here, 15 plus. It's doable, but there's so many other plays where you could go. You could go Kurt, you could go Pittman, you could go Osborne. You could pay down for Osborne over McLaurin, right? You could pay down to a London over him. You could pay down to a Brown. So I can't play everybody. You can't play everybody, but I feel like the Commanders is going to get shut out again. I think they might be a low-scoring game for Commanders. I don't see them being a factor here in this matchup. So I might pay down. I don't think I'm going to pay. He's more so a play for like season leagues, right? I have him in my season league, so I'm glad to have McLaurin in my season league. But in regards to DFS, I don't see the upside in this game. I feel like I'm kind of forcing him. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm forcing him to get 20 here. He has to get a touchdown in this matchup. Have he bought out against them? Okay, hold up. So the last time he played at ATL, this was 2021. He had 6 receptions for 13 targets, 2 touchdowns that game. So, oh man, he was 6 for 13, 123 yards. It was 34-30 in that matchup. This could be a GPP game for McLaurin. I mean, I just don't see anybody else stepping up, right? I don't see anybody else other than McLaurin. So The fact that he gave us 10 targets last week, I mean, in week 4, I believe. Yeah, week 4. Maybe he might get 13 targets. Maybe he get 10 plus targets again this week. You know? But the fact that he showed that he could give you 2 touchdowns against this team, I mean, it's a different team, obviously, but I am in trends, and in this game, it's trending to be him giving you 20 plus here. I'm a trend guy. You already know how I am. So McLaurin could be a possible uptrend. He's gonna be low on for real. He's gonna be very low on. The fact that he had 2 touchdowns at ATL last time he played there, it just shows to me he's the only guy I could trust in this match. He's the only guy I could trust on the Commanders here, and I guarantee no one's gonna be on McLaurin. I mean, even the game that we thought he was gonna ball out in, I think he was only like 3% on that game, and I was able to cash big on that one. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put McLaurin as a GPP play. I think just the fact that he could ball out there, I mean, he could do it again. So I feel like you can't just fade McLaurin. I mean, you're just more concerned with the quarterback. But if you want to compare quarterbacks, I mean, I feel like Howell was probably the better quarterback, right? Maybe. I mean, everybody was mediocre, so he was able to do work with the quarterbacks he's given, right? So I think Howell gives him a better chance to get something going, right? I'm not sure what team. I don't know who he had. Maybe Fitzpatrick. I don't know who the hell he had. But I think Sam Howell has the arm to do justice for McLaurin. It could be a good game again. So yeah, I like this game. I like McLaurin here from GPP. I think a lot of people's not on him. That's why we kind of dissected it, but a lot of people's not on him, and he showed that he could give you 2 touchdown game at Atlanta. So I like him here. He's cheaper than Nico Collins, so yeah. Whoever thought Nico Collins be more than McLaurin, right? So, and if you were to tell me who would you rather play, McLaurin or Collins, that's McLaurin all day, right? So I'm gonna go McLaurin for GPP. I think he could open up the field. Hey, beautiful. Hey. Mm-hmm. Almost done. Another play I have before we call it. See, that's why I hate receivers, man. I have too many damn receivers. We gotta cut this. We got too many receivers, y'all. Like, that's why I hate receivers, man. I like Amari Cooper, right? I like Amari Cooper. He's going against the squad, right? He's going against my squad. I'll play for McLaurin, yeah. I'll play him for GPPs. Amari Cooper, man, he could be low on as well. Hey, beauty. So the last time he played the Niners, he was 6 for 10. He was 6 for 10, 64 yards with a touchdown. I mean, even Cooper is. Hey, beauty. Go with sister. Go in the room. Go with sister. Go with Cece. Yeah, go with Cece. So he had a touchdown against the Niners. I mean, someone has to score, right? Amari Cooper, right? Somebody has to score for them. I mean, he only had 18 last time he played us. Amari Cooper's kind of a stretch. I mean, I like him. I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on this play. Yeah, I'm not going to pull the trigger on that play. I like him, though. I like Amari Cooper. I don't think I'm going to play him, though. I think I'd rather pay down to McLaurin over Cooper. But yeah, I think I'm done with this list. I think I kind of dissected pretty good. Yeah, I think I dissected pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm done with the receivers. Let me know what you think on the receivers. Any questions? Any other receivers you might have in mind? Let me know. I'm still stuck on Devonta Smith and AJ Brown. I'm like, but I'm not paying $7,000 for both, right? But they both might go off. Like you might have a Hurts. I have a feeling they might go off, right? I don't know. Yeah, Cooper did well. Like I'm not. I feel like I'm gonna go McLaurin over Cooper just for the price. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I think I'm done with it. We got some gems. We got Lazard. Got Lazard for 3,700 for a nice little gem play. We got Michael Wilson for a nice little gem play for value. Lala, go to sister. Why not? You don't want to go to sister. Calm down. I'm right here. Relax. See? Look, you're on camera. Look. See? You say hi? You say hi? Are you shy? Say hi. Say hi.
Yeah.
Say yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. On camera. Yep.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. Yep. On camera. All right. So let's look into tight ends. Don't touch. Tight ends. La la. La la. 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 Did you go poo poo? Did you go poopy? Oh, thank you. 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 All right, let's go to tight ends. We gotta nip this in the bud. All right, so my receiver my tight end I like here is Cole Kmet. He's 4,600. He's in a great game script against Minnesota. He had 15, 28 in the last two games. I think he's gonna do damage once again. Yeah, I think he'll do damage once again here. Last time he played at home, he had 15 and 13 in the last two seasons. He had a touchdown last season against them. I think it's another great play for Cole Kmet at 4,600. FanDuel, he's 61. Oh, thank you. So I'm gonna go Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet, man, I like him a lot here for his price point. Maybe he's GPP. Oh, he's questionable? Oh, he is questionable. Let's see his news. Cole Kmet, hamstring. Good looks on that, man. I should have saw that, though. Hamstring listed on the injury list. Put in a limited practice Wednesday. His status is worth watching heading into Sunday's battle against Minnesota. But as long as he doesn't suffer any setbacks. Yeah, I like the spot for him. I'm doing this right here. I got right there. I'm doing this. Let me do this, boo boo. We'll play when we get done, okay? I'm gonna put Cole Kmet with a question mark because I just like him here, but I'm gonna put him with GPPs just for his price point. But I still have to do an injury list. We gotta make sure we add him on the injury list. Kmet. Questionable. All right. So he's questionable. So we gotta look at that. But I like Kokomet a lot here. Dealing with that hamstring issues, no joke. Woo! What? Hmm? Okay. Next spot we have is we got boy Dallas. He had 29 last week with 9 targets. Going against. Now he's going against the Jets. I don't know. The thing is, the Jets is giving up a lot to the tight ends, right? They look like they're bottom tier. They're bottom feeders. They're 30. They're 32 against the tight ends. 32nd against the tight ends. I mean, he's only 48. I think he's more of a cash play. But I mean, they're giving up 58 receiving yards to tight ends, 18 fantasy points. Playing at home against them. Yeah, Trotman, he had 12. Kelsey had 12. Those are only big 2 numbers. But the fact that Trotman had 12, I'm surprised that he even had 12. That's pretty much optimal for Trotman. I'll say Dallas is a good cash play for 4,800. Going against, like the Justices gives a lot to tight end. So I'm going to say Dallas is more so the cash spot for tight ends. East. Goddard. Cash. I'm going to put him for cash. I mean, you got Hawkinson. I think he's cash, but it's whatever. I just don't trust. The thing is, I just don't trust. I just don't trust Cousins, man. Like, you got. I think it's gonna be everyone's gonna be on Hawkinson, and then Cousins is throwing interceptions left and right. Right, that's kind of how I feel with this spot. I do like Evan Ingram going against the Colts. He's 45. I like that spot for him too. Let me see what we're looking like. Yeah, he's in a good spot. I mean, he's been consistent. He hasn't had a touchdown yet. He's due for a touchdown. I know that for sure. Indiana, let's see. The Colts giving up 59 receiving yards to tight ends. Tyler Higbee had 11 in week 4. Andrews only had 7. Schultz had 7. Ingram in week 1 had 10. Basically, he had 9.9. But even Evan Ingram, for his price point, 45. I think he's cash. I think everyone's going to be on that game with Lawrence. So I'm going to go. I was talking about them earlier. So I'll say Ingram is up there. But if you're going to pair up, if you're going to have a game script with Lawrence, you got to have Kurt and Ingram. I feel like you got to have both of those guys in your lineup if you're going to go Lawrence as your guy. In your lineups. We talked about Tyler Conklin. I mean, he did work for us last week. He was 3,200, and he's 33 this week, so he's still cheap. And going against Philly, they're allowing 50 yards to the tight ends. I mean, the fact that Hawkinson balled out against them. He had 25. He had Hunter Henry. He had 16 in week 1. But the other one's kind of mediocre, right? They went against Otten on Tampa. Logan Thomas had 3. Higbee had 4 last week. I'll say Conklin's still a value play. I mean, he's only 33. I think I like the value here for him. He's getting the look, so I think he should go back to the well with Conklin. Let's see. Let's go down. I'll say value. I'll go Conklin. Only 3,000, 34,000. It's 3,400 this week. And he gave me 10 pain points. Janu Smith, he's questionable. And he's going against Washington. So, what's the stats with him? He says questionable for Janu Smith. Is it Janu or Janu? Do I have to pull out the Google? Yeah, I might have to pull out the Google. Janu Smith. Pronunciation. I think it's Janu. It might be Janu. How you pronounce Janu? Janu. Janu. The hell is it connected to my Beats? How the hell is it connected to my Beats? My Beats headphones is in the car. What? Janu Smith. Alright, Janu. Yeah, self-explanatory. Sam Laporta, I'm gonna pass on him this week. I think obviously a lot of people on him, but I'm gonna pass Sam Laporta this week. Yeah, Tampa's been kind of consistent. Definitely been consistent. They're only allowing 38 receiving yards, but it seems like Sam Laporta is like their receiver, right? Like the number one receiver on Detroit. So I'm gonna pass Laporta this week. I liked him last week. He did his work last week. He bought out last week, right? Yeah, 19. Yeah, we called that one. So I'm gonna pass this week on him. Logan Thomas, he had a crazy game last week. 22 fantasy points. I don't know if he's gonna do that this week. I mean, I feel like that's his ceiling from last week. I like Hunter Henry against the Patriots. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. He's on the Patriots. I'm tripping. I do like Hunter Henry going against the Raiders. My bad. He's only 4,400. I like Hunter Henry, man. He's been doing all right this season. He had a dud last week, but I wasn't gonna play him anyway. He's only 4,400. Maybe Noah Fant. I mean, he's only 3,000. He had 2 targets. He had 8, 8, and 10 in the last 3. Let me see what he had so far in the season. Yeah, he's giving you value for his price point in the last 3 games. Going against the Raiders. Going against the Bengals as 30th against the position. I think Noah Fant. I mean, Geno Smith has to throw to somebody. I think Noah Fant is a good spot to look at. See Hayden Hurst, Disley. I'm looking at Disley. He hasn't been getting the ball yet. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go Font for value at 3,000. So let's go. I'm gonna go Font for value. Let me know what y'all think for tight ends. It's kind of bland this week. I like Cole Kmet. If he starts, if he plays, I'm locking in Cole Kmet this week. Not really sold on everyone else. It's kind of eh. Zach Ertz probably against the Rams. I like Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz could be a problem. Rams are 31st against the position. Let me see. Zach Ertz. He hasn't been well against them, but I mean, I like Zach Ertz too. I think Zach Ertz. I mean, Rams are giving up 66 yards against the position, 18 at home. Yeah, I'm going Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz is a great play for GPPs. Yeah, I'm going Zach Ertz here. He's getting looks. He had 10 targets in week 4. Yeah, Zach Ertz is a great play for 3,600. I'm gonna go GPP for London. I said London. I'm tripping. I'm looking at the wrong stuff. I'm gonna go Ertz for GPP. Especially if we're looking at Arizona as a potential sleeper for stacks. I think you have to stack Ertz in your lineup with Dobbs. So yeah, I like that a lot. I think I'm done with that. Got Dallas, Ingram. I think Ertz and Komet to me is a great plays for 3,000. If you need 3,000 in flex or just in tight ends in general, I think you don't have to pay up 4,000 or even I don't think you even have to go. What you gonna call it? Hawkinson was 6,000. I'm not playing those 6,000 because I don't trust Cousins, man. I really feel like everyone is they're priced to where they should ball out, but it's gonna base on Cousins balling out, and I don't see Cousins doing shit. I'm not gonna pay 7,000 for Cousins. He's meant to be 6,300 and should stay at 6,300. So I'm gonna go. I like Ertz a lot here. I think Ertz is a lock. So let me go ahead. I think I'm done with tight ends. Let's go to the defense. I think we're down the stretch. All right, so they got Rams defense at 3,700 on Draftkings. I'm not going that route. If I think Arizona's gonna make it a close game, yeah, I'm not gonna pay 37 for that price tag. I think Arizona is gonna be a sleeper stack, so I'm gonna fade that. I think Atlanta at 36 is a cash spot. I do like this play. It's definitely a cash spot in my eyes. Jaguars is definitely a cash spot. Going against the Colts. So I'll say Ertz is a very good play. Yeah, thanks, Pat. Appreciate you being on the stream, bro. Holding down with me for tonight. So I'll say Jags is cash. Because it's going to base on how Minshew played, right? If Minshew balls out, then it wasn't a good play. But I think everyone thinking that Minshew going to fall on his ass against this defense. It's going to be a emotional game here. So he's going to have to prove he's worthy, right? Or prove that they messed up and not keeping him, right? So I think Jags is definitely going to be I think Jags is going to be cash. Falcons, I don't really see much from the Commanders, but I can see Falcons being cash. I just don't believe in. Only person I saw in this matchup when we went through this whole stream, the only person I see that could do something is McLaurin. If McLaurin doesn't do anything here, then I see Falcons just defense just paying at their price. So I'll say Falcons cash. Rams is obviously cash, but I think Arizona's gonna put up numbers, so I'm not gonna pay that route. Let's see. Who else go down to? Saints, Seattle, Vikings. Vikings defense could be a DPP, right? Going against Chicago, but I think Chicago gonna go crazy. Panthers. 2,000. I mean, I didn't even talk about Miami. I think the only thing I said about was Mostert balling out. For 2,000, I think Lions maybe. I ain't really talk about Tampa, so I think Lions defense at 2,700 is GPP because I didn't really mention much. I didn't mention anything about Tampa, so I think Lions defense could be a GPP play. Let me see. I didn't say anything about them. Buccaneers. Yeah, I think Lions defense is the GPP play. I like the value there. 49ers, I just don't know what to do with the 49ers defense against Cleveland. I think it's going to be a disgusting game. I don't know. I don't see any upside in that game. I'm trying, but I can't. I don't know what to think about this game. The last time we played at Cleveland was 2015. That's a whole different team. We only had 4 fantasy points in 2015. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah, Lions defense is underrated, right? I like Bears. Bears defense at 25 could be something to look at. Like I don't see anybody other I only talked about Osborne, right? Osborne could do well. I'm just everything boils down to Cousins. Like Cousins is gonna have to show something, right? And if he does, I just don't see it, man. I think Bears defense at 2,500 is ideal. It says Minnesota is taking 3.1 sacks a game. I could see him just falling on his face this game. Like Bears have a good opportunity to. Lions and Bears is where I'm going. It's funny, you're talking about animals, right? Lions and Bears are looking good this weekend. I'm going to go GP. I'm going to say Bears. I mean, the fact that they're 2,500 to me, without JJ, I think that's a great price tag. They should at least be 3,000 plus here. I mean, I keep saying 3,000. 3,000. They should be at least 3,000 up and more here, right? And they're 25. They're cheaper than Lions, right? So I'll say Jags, Falcons, cash. I'm gonna go GPP. I like Bears and Lions. I think both are in good spots, but if I'm gonna choose one, I'm gonna go Lions. But like I said, I don't trust Cousins. I think Cousins gonna fall on his face. He gonna force plays. He's so used to JJ being in the game, right? And then even if JJ was out, you had Thielen, so he had Osborne and Thielen. So it wasn't like back in the day, like I think he had Hawkinson too. Did he have Hawkinson? I think he had either Hawkinson too. So even when JJ, if he's out, you still had Thielen on the one side. You had Osborne. You had who else? I forgot who else. I don't know. But anyways, I feel like Jefferson here. I think and then on top of that, you're playing away. Like I just think Bears is gonna run them over. I think a lot of people are not going. I think everyone's talking about Bears defense, this and that. It's going to cause low ownership on the Bears. They're 2,500. Honestly, when you look at defense, you want to pay low anyway. So if I'm gonna pay low, I'm paying down the Bears and I'm paying down the Lions. I think that's it. I think that's what I like here. I think I'm done. Those only two. I like those both of them. I like 25. If I'm gonna pay down, I'll say 25 for Bears. I really don't trust Cousins at all, so I'm gonna go Bears, and I like Lions too, so I'm gonna have both. But I think Bears is the play. And then he didn't have Hawkinson back then. I forgot the tight end from years ago. Was it was it black? Oh, what's his name? Oh, Irv Smith. I think it was Irv Smith. Yeah, I think it was Irv Smith. I like Irv Smith too. I think he went to the Houston, right? Or he's either a free agent or he went to Houston. But Irv Smith, I think he played on Minnesota. I think it's Irv Smith. Yeah, it has been Irv Smith. But I don't trust Hawkinson in this game either. I don't trust his play. I don't trust the price. Like I said, it's going to be on Cousins, and I don't trust no 7,000 Cousins. I'm never going to pay 7,000 Cousins. I think that's a trap. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, I think I'm done, y'all. I don't want to keep the stream going too much. Obviously, like I could make a lineup, but I think with the top plays for each spot, y'all could kind of see where I'm looking at. If I were to do a lineup, I'm definitely going Stafford line. I'm gonna do a Stafford line. I'm gonna do a Wilson line. So obviously, I'm gonna choose the receivers with Wilson. I'm gonna choose the receivers for Stafford, right? And then you want to get the value plays. I think Lazard is a great value play. I do like Wilson. I think what's his name, Michael Wilson for the Arizona. I think I'm also have some plays with Dobbs and his squad with Marquise and Wilson and adding Ertz. I think that's a great. I think this is a GPP type of week 6. I think GPPs is going to be the play this week, and you can add in like your Nakuas. You can add your chases if you have some money left over. I like the running backs this week. I think you should have a 3-man running back scheme. You got great running backs this weekend that could give you 20 plus. And if you have more money in it, you could go up to a cup or you could go up to a chase, because you got value at defense. You could go Bears or Lions in defense. But yeah, I think this is gonna be my stream. I appreciate Pat, man. Appreciate you sticking with me in the stream, having good conversation. Y'all, you be blessed, man. Love you as always. Love y'all in the stream. Please like and share. Y'all be out. Deuces. Peace.